A lot of people can go their entire lives without ever taking accountability. They live for today and only today, not really thinking on the grand scape of things, on how will this constant survival need to hold this ego-driven self-image, how will this benefit me in the end? There is no way that you can live for years and years and years, and no matter how much you avoid the thought that, maybe some type of, I don't know, accountability will give me a foundation of knowing where I'm at to where I want to go. I feel like that's the thrill, though. That's the thrill that they are looking for. See, a life of seeing yourself as less, seeing your natural born, not even seeing it, not seeing your natural born gifts that God has given you on this earth, rejecting God. And if you are on the flip side, a Christian, you walk the walk, you talk the talk, you understand that why would somebody want to reject God? Why? He's everything good on this earth. And remember, what is hell? Separation from God. That's it. It is not a literal burning pit of fire. It is simply separation from God. God is love. God is everything good. So now you have to think to yourself, why would a person want to be in complete and utter separation from God? They might not say this out loud, but their actions is showing it. They see somebody of God who walks the walk, talk the talk. Maybe that might have been you. And they targeted you. Because you represent yourself in a way that God would clap for. If you haven't heard it today, you represent your way. Well, you represent yourself in a way that God would clap for. So if you haven't yet, clap for yourself. Pat yourself on the back. It does not take. It takes a lot of guts to live the lifestyle that you live. Maybe you got bullied in a point in time, and you're not sitting in your room thinking, drilling yourself in your mind, my bully's gonna get what they deserve one day. I'm gonna get revenge one day. You're not living in such a disgusting pit of self-pity and anger. You let it go. And nobody really describes how hard it is to let go. It is so hard. You could be sitting on your own and somebody who has this deep self-hate will just walk up and punch you. And they'll run away. You don't punch people, so you didn't chase them. You try to reserve who you are. And you kept your integrity. You did. But there's this phase after, this unavoidable phase for empaths, for people who do the work, who do the honest work, who showed up with integrity, who showed up with good morals, who showed up with high standards. You showed up, you did the work. So it's not fair. I hear you when you say it's not fair for somebody to see you sitting and just come and hit you. So there's this phase after of where you're like, I stay to myself. You stay to yourself. But you're still so angry because why do they get to do that? Why do they get to do that and just run away? Oh, I get it. They have their self-hate. And I keep my morals and I speak to myself kindly and I will never live that amount of self-hate, but why do they get to do that? I still got punched in the face in the end. I understand you when you say that. Now, let me know if you relate to this. Whenever they do these actions and you get angry, and at the end of the anger, you realize that there is no end to anger. There is no end. It produces nothing. It takes away. It's a degenerate. Anger is a degenerate. So what do we do? What do angry people do to get rid of anger? The gym. You might not be the fitness bro. It's not about that. It's lifting that 50-pound weight until you get all that frustration out. In a few months, body tea. I'm telling you. Going on runs. Kickboxing. I do not recommend, if you're an angry person, to do any martial arts or boxing or fighting. That's my recommendation. But who am I? I'm just the messenger. You don't want to take out your frustration on somebody who just wants to defend himself. You don't want to be that person. But yeah. You've done the honest work. And you ask yourself, why do they get to do that? They get to live on their life, doing it to somebody else. Because of this self-hate, they get to do it again and again and again and again. And you understand, like, you're wise. You know this playbook. Anger will make your blood boil so much that you will eventually explode. That's the end. So you see these people allowing their self-projection of hate to boil their blood, hit one person. Oh, no consequences to the next person. Boiled their blood a little. The temperature went from 100 to 120 Celsius. Next person boiled their blood. Now it's 150. When you see these people on the news, you see these horrible events, you see these mass shootings, you see these just evil, disgusting, birthed out of evil. When you see these things happen, who do you think is doing these things? Two flip sides. The person who could not get over the angry phase after being a target. But I think that's about, I don't know. And there's the person who allowed their blood to boil so much because they could not do it in their self to take accountability. You might think you're controlling this roller coaster, but you're not. You're not. You're just on the ride. And whether you choose to stick your tongue out, whether you choose to put your hands up, whether you choose to, whatever you choose to do on this roller coaster, it will still ride. If you choose to seek control of the roller coaster so much that you unbuckle your seatbelt and say, I'm controlling this, and you stand up mid-ride, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to blow away. And that's what happens to people who cannot take accountability. They end up blowing away. You are not in control. You get with the program, you do the work, You walk this narrow path that God is calling you to, or you blow away. Those are your two options. So pick. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like on this video, and good night.